Hundreds of children in Josephine County are in foster care, but there are just a precious few foster homes.
The county has been struggling to meet the demand and place each child in a safe and loving foster home. Newswatch 12's Aaron Maxon joins us now to tell us about the couple who is the county's newest foster parents.
Foster parents play an enormous role in creating a safe home and environment for the nearly 300 kids in foster care in Josephine County. And a lot of those kids are coming with a lot of issues: neglect, physical, mental, emotional, sexual abuse. It's estimated that 1 in 3 girls and now 1 in 4 boys will be sexually abused during their childhood. For the children entering the foster care system, the statistics are staggering.
The topic of tonight is sex abuse.
And it was just shocking.
85% of children who come into foster care have been sexually abused.
We just looked at each other and we're like, oh my gosh.
And that's why this class is so important.
Unfortunately, that's the class that we see most of our families drop out in. It's a hard subject to sit through.
This is one of 8 mandatory training classes over 4 weeks for new foster parents in Josephine County.
In the year 2014, roughly about 5% of our kids that came into care were solely for sex abuse.
Foster parent certifier Bob Hendrick says that does not include the children who are removed from their parents' home for another reason, but also suffered some kind of sexual abuse.
1 in 4 of every child will be sexually abused in some way at some point in their life.
Rebecca Mitchell and her husband Chris learned that statistic in class. It's not the first time they've heard it.
It doesn't become any less shocking each time you hear it.
Well, they are first-time foster parents in Josephine County. They are not first-time foster parents.
And when we met, we talked about adoption and foster care immediately and got our first placement when I was 20.
While living in California, the Mitchells went through a similar process, fostering several children.
We would go out and people would head count, visibly head count.
And then just start
and
doing
then they
math,
would,
like
you'd hear whispers.
The whispering didn't bother the Mitchells, and when they moved up to Oregon with their 2 children, both adopted, they jumped right back in.
We're going to move on to the stages of sexual development.
The first step in certification is attending the classes.
Pretty similar.
Yeah, it is. Very much the same subjects.
After an application is submitted, a home inspection is done.
Need to make sure that everything's safe, nothing dangerous.
Bob, or another certifier, goes through everything.
Good on the fire gate. Okay, smoke alarm. That's really good. Yeah, first aid kit. Do you have any guns or hunting equipment? I need to see your driver's licenses and a copy of your car insurance.
In California, the Mitchells said they had a similar experience, but it wasn't as thorough.
So they would make sure and check those specific items.
One time, during a home visit, a California Department of Human Services worker didn't even go up and check the second floor.
That offended me. I was like, we could have something up there and they would never know it.
Inside
Baby crib just right over here.
and out,
I'm gonna come look at your house.
the Mitchells pass.
I'm always so excited to do this portion because it makes it seem so official.
But they're not completely done. In fact, things get even more personal.
And the first time it was a little awkward.
Are you satisfied with your sexual relationship? And how satisfied are you?
Got your attention, didn't it? Well, it's supposed to. There's a very good reason why DHS addresses a couple's sex life and their financial standing. And we're going to tell you all about that tomorrow night in part 2 of A Family First. You'll see that right here on Newswatch 12 at 6 o'clock.